everybody to 1 hour of miniature goodness, and today we are doing Reaper miniatures, and we have an absolutely amazing miniature. This is one of my favorites now. I was going through the old expansion sets from the Bones 5 Kickstarter, and this jumped out of the box at me. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's by Jason Weeby. Absolutely amazing sculptor. He's in my top 5 favorite sculptors. This is just an absolutely phenomenal miniature. It's beautiful. Now, what I've done to start today, I've given the Mammotaur, this is called the Mammotaur, I've given the whole miniature a base coat of the dark brown, my wood stained brown, and I've given dragon white to the base, a nice coat of base. So what I'm going to show you today, we're going to paint the whole miniature quickly, but what I've noticed is on his hammer is a crystal hammer. So what I've done, I've made a start, and I've coated the hammer here on the end here with dragon white, and then I've just used some grey on the rock and then some white. So what I'm going to show you later on is how to paint the crystals. A very, very simple way how to do crystals for your miniatures. It won't take 5 seconds, but I'll show you that a little bit later on. Now with this miniature, it's a bit complicated. It's a multi-part kit, so what I'm doing is I'm going to paint the base first, and this part here I'm taking off as well, so we can get to all the dry brushing areas on the body of the Mammotaur. Now with these new bases, I'm really enjoying what Reaper are doing with the new bases. They're giving these lovely oval bases to all our miniatures now, and I think it looks really nice. Now what I'm going to show you is how to quickly paint snow without using any artificial snow today. So we'll fly through that as well, but let me say hello to everybody in chat, because I can see there's quite a few people in today. Now I know Scott was at the top there. I did see Michelle. Stuart's in the house. Odysseys, hello. Rod's in the house. The Waffle Witch, hello Waffle Witch. Waffle Witch is a new goblin, by the way, so everybody say hello to the Waffle Witch. Hello Waffle Witch. Hello Waffle Witch. We have Naif's in the house. Kaywood Publishers is in the house as well. Hello Kaywood Publishing. Now if you want any good campaigns for your D&D games, Kaywood Publishing is the place to see. He does all the books and all the everything. He's just amazing. So I'm sure Scorpio will put a link up to his channel. Ty's in the house. Stuart's in the house. God, there's loads of you. And I can't tell. Okay, I'm going to get some paint on the palette. We've only got an hour. Right, so paints I'm using today for this lovely miniature. Of course, we've got my lovely wood stained brown. We have the white and black dragon white and dragon white and dragon black by MSP Paints. We have got my gunmetal. For the skin today, we're going to use ashen brown for the skin. And for the snow base, we are using blue flame, we are using skeleton bone, and we will use some dragon white. Now, I'm going to get the base done first, so we'll quickly get some blues onto our palette. Now, if you look at snow and ice, there's always a blue effect to the ice and the snow. So the key in painting snow is have an undercoat of a nice icy blue colour. So we'll just fly this onto the base. And down. Oh, alright, so I'm just going to load up my palette with all this lovely paint. Thank you everybody for popping on to watch me tonight. Paint's decided not to come out this one. Probably takes me longer to get the paints on the palette than it does to paint the... Right, I'm taking the top off. I'll just squitch them out here. There you go. There we are. There you are. My Scorpio has just put a link up to Kaywood Publishing's website. So everybody take a look if you're into the Dungeons and Dragons scene. and you're after extra monsters for your campaigns. What we found, what my Scorpio does, is when we play Dungeons and Dragons, it stops people from kind of cheating, looking at the stats for monsters. What she does is she'll throw in a couple of Andrew Kaywood's Dungeons and Dragons monsters into the mix, into our games. And then, of course, nobody knows the stats of that monster. And it makes perfect sense, because then the game is really exciting, because nobody knows if it's going to be a complete party kill or not. Okay, these paints now. This is just for the base, so it's very, very quickly. What I'm going to do is we're just going to do this in certain parts now. The first thing is I'm just going to get some paint over the main base here, straight away, the blue all the way around. We'll let that dry, and then we'll come back. It's just a very, very simple case of getting this first primer over the white. So you've got that blue. This will go into all the recesses of the base. Very, very simple. You just want to get the whole base covered there. And a nice blue. I'm not sure if it's showing up too well on this light here. So we'll just leave that dry now. We've got a nice light blue colour, and all we do for that later on, once that's dry, we start dry brushing our skeleton bone and white, and we got the perfect snow effect. Simple as that, and that'll be job done. So we'll chuck that over there for now. Give my brush another wash. Okay. So you're all talking about Dungeons and Dragons now, awesome stuff. Okay, what we're going to do is going to go straight into the colours here. I'm going to get a tissue up here. I just checked what the picture's like. I'm going to have to hold it in my hand. I hope that's okay. Now what we're going to do, as always, we start with all the dry brushing areas. So we're going to do the skin and the fur first. I'm going to put some of this ashen brown on my palette as well as... Now, I used to paint all my centaurs. I used to paint all my centaurs where the body of the centaur would be brown, and of course the body would be brown, and sorry, the horse of the body, oh my god, I can't speak. The horse of the body would all be like brown or black. And then what I used to do with the centaurs is I would paint the human part of the centaur, the torso. I'd paint that in flesh colours, like pale flesh. But what I'm finding is that doesn't work. It doesn't work. What you want is you want to keep the contrast of all the colours the same on your centaurs. So, like watching Harry Potter, for example, you got the centaurs in Harry Potter. What you'll find is the actual torso is almost the same colour as the rest of the body. It's a nice dark skin. So I'm going to keep the skin brown, but we're just going to make it a little bit lighter with the brown tones, and then it'll actually blend in with the rest of the miniature. Because what I was finding is the contrast with my old centaurs, because I was using like this colour, I was using like a fair skin colour. It was much too light to go in with the brown, and just using a nice chocolate brown over the whole of the miniature really gives a much better effect for the overall appearance of your centaurs. Okay, let's go. Right then, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start adding this lovely ashen brown. This is going over all the skin areas, so we're going to work on all the muscles first. And of course, using the actual brown to help us with those skin tones. So just going over all the skin areas. Very, very simply. fast and easy. It's quite a heavy load on this one. And what we'll do is start adding a little tiny bit of white into this palette there, onto my tissue, just to actually start lightening the rest of this miniature up. And we'll go straight to the face as well, straight across the top of the nose, eyebrows, making sure all the highest muscles, biceps and shoulders, they've all got the most paint on. And as always, I'll be using the actual dark brown as a shade. Okay, that's really nice so far. Like I say, very, very simple paint today. This is an absolutely beautiful miniature. I didn't see this miniature when the Bones 5 Kickstarter was live, because I was busy working, and what I was doing, I was just buying the expansions and putting them into my basket, you know. But what a beautiful surprise when I saw this. It's really, really a beautiful sculpt. Okay, now what I'm going to do as well, see on the little, he's got his little hoofies there, so on the hoofies on the little front there, we're just going to touch up his little nails. Hoofies, there you go. Hoofies is good enough for me. Hoofies works. So we're just going to give them a little touch up while we're down here with that paint now. It just takes out, gives a little bit of definition, and we'll lighten them up. Very, very simple. Now I'm going to add some more of the ashen and a tiny bit of the white, and I'm going to actually add a bit of skeleton bone and a bit more. Don't want it too light at the minute. There we are, that's perfect. So we can go back over the muscles. So we'll start again with the highest areas. Not so heavy now, so it's really starting to bring in the 3 dimensions of the paint. And along the chest muscles, biceps of course, the hands there, get the thumb in, the fingers, again moving around straight onto the biceps, the shoulders, back onto the face. Let's lighten that up a little bit more. Beautiful. And again moving around, just touching up all the highest areas. Hello Riker Zion, how are you, pal? Riker Zion, by the way, he has a miniature painting channel, and he has he's in the 1,000+ followers. Absolutely awesome stuff. Now I used to talk to Riker Zion about a couple of years ago. I didn't realize who he was until a couple of days ago. Then I thought, hang on a second, I know that guy. That's my old man brain forgetting about things. So thank you so much, Riker Zion, for the raid. It's very, very kind of you. Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. We're going back years now. We must be going back to what, 2016, 2017? God, the years have flown by. The years have flown by. Okay, so as you can see, the skin tone is absolutely looking fab now. It's not too pale. It's just the perfect to go with this beastie. Now I'm going to leave it like that for now. I think that looks awesome. It's all the muscles are popping. We got the highlights on the certain areas, and what we can do now, we can work on the fur and move our way around on the miniature. Now for the fur and the hair, again we're going for coordination of the colours. So what I want to do is we're going to paint all the fur, but we're going to keep the mane and his little goatee on the front there. We're going to keep them the same colour as the rest, so they'll all look and they'll all match in with the whole miniature in an overall appearance, and I think that'll look fab. So easy peasy. Again, this time we're going back into our wood stain brown, and we're going to start building up the colours with the wood stain brown. You've been streaming 6 years, wow. Riker's Iron, I've been streaming 18 months now. So this is a year and a half I've been streaming. I did take a little bit of time off as well during that time, but I'm really happy how my stream is coming along. It's still very scary for me. I get very nervous before a stream, and as many times you know, I feel too scared to start streaming. But what I find is once I start painting, I'm okay. It's just that initial starting. You're thinking about the stream. I think too much about things, and then you know I get nervous, and then you know just your normal things. Yes, thank you, Rikers Iron. It's a fantastic thing. I mean, I got all my Goblin supporters as well, and like I say, people like you as well, raiding my channel. I mean, it's just amazing. It really is amazing. Okay, let's get this fur started. With the fur, we are going into the wood stain brown. So this is the dark brown now, nice dark brown. And what we're going to do is we are going to add some skeleton bone to that dark brown and lighten it up a little bit on the tissue. And again, very simply, we're going to use the dark brown as our shade. So we're just going to start from the top, start going nicely and evenly across all that lovely fur, so everything will start popping now. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. So all that Mammotaur fur is now coming alive. So keep the recesses open and nice and dark on the recesses there, and we're just going over the fur. And what we're going to do is we're going to start spinning it around, and we'll go straight to his little goatee. He's got a Goblin King goatee going. Look at that, the Goblin King goatee. And again, we're just working our way all the way around the hair. This is such an awesome miniature to paint. I'm really enjoying this one because of the style of the miniature. It's a nice, easy miniature to paint. It's a beautiful looking miniature, but it's also lots of my favourite type of painting, like the dry brush work and stuff. I'm always in my element when I'm painting like stonework, rocks, fur, horses, anything like that, because that's what I feel my best type of painting comes from, is this type of painting that I'm doing now. We all have certain types of work or mediums we work with in art that we find is our favourites. When I was doing my BA honours degree in art, my favourites was chalks, pastels. I used to do life studies. It was absolutely awesome stuff. Everybody's got their own type of painting or drawing that they actually prefer. I've always preferred using like a pastels and using my fingers to blend the paints, the pastels together. Okay, carrying on. Again, just a light dry brush over the whole of the fur areas now. Just picking up all the lovely fur. Thank you for popping in, Rikers Iron. I shall pop onto your show and have a chat with you. Tal. Yeah. I can tell you. Hello, Renegade Shank. Tal, I can tell you now. I got lots and lots of stories about the life studies class I was in, but I won't say it on stream because it can get a bit naughty. Yes, my life studies was my degree was in drawing naked men and women. That's what a life studies class is, if you don't know. If anybody's wondering, what's life studies? I was doing it in Swansea University Night School. So I was actually in a full-time job at the time, and I was doing the degree in the nights after work. Absolutely awesome stuff. Okay, going a little bit lighter. Now, what you'll find as well is everybody, all these models that you see, on like YouTube and catwalks. You got all these very, very, very skinny ladies, and there's nothing wrong with skinny ladies. Before everybody shouts I'm being naughty or something. But what I was going to say to you was, in the life studies class, when we was drawing all the ladies and men, what they would do is they would have the largest of ladies, and the largest ladies were our favourites because of the curves. We was taught that the larger ladies were better to draw because of all the curvaceous curves everywhere, and it's true. That you had more. What did it do? It's more artistic. It was fantastic. So, to all the ladies who like their cookies, you're very, very beautiful. Okay, what we're doing now, I'm getting carried away talking about curves and flowy lines. That's the word, Michelle. Yes. Tal, stop it right now. Okay. Carrying on, what we're doing now is still spinning around. I'm going to add, because this is in the snow as well, what we're going to do is going to make it much lighter on the top. So we're going into the dragon white now, and just on the highest areas we're going to start making it much lighter, and that almost gives an effect of frost or snow stuck to the fur. It makes it look a little bit more icy then. So just over the tops there, a little bit on his little tail. His little tail's flicked in the snow. And we'll work our way around the top again. On top of the hair. Keep on going around. Boom, boom, boom. All the way down. Just highlight those lovely flowing hair he's got there. Keep it going. Keeping it going around. Absolutely fab. And that's roughly all we need to do for the fur. Okay, this is coming on fantastic. I mean, the change already is awesome. That fur looks fab. Nice dark colours, but it's working well. What we're going to do now is we're going to start working on the metal areas. Once again, the metal, we'll use some gunmetal. But I want to show you how I do these simple little crystals. So we'll get round to that in a minute. Odysseys, life studies. Now, I think Tal's kind of hit it on the head there. Life studies is a study of life. It's you're drawing live, real things that are alive, I suppose. Oh dear. It was only the only thing was though, Tal is saying life studies is I think it's part of study of natural life in all its forms. Yes, it's natural life. I think that works perfectly. And it was an absolutely fantastic class, and it was awesome stuff. It was very, very good fun. I mean, I was a young man when I did that. I was we're going back to 1990, very early 90s. So I was probably about 20 then, something like that. But I was a young man. I was in my prime. I was in my prime. Right, I'm using a number 2 brush by Reaper Miniatures, and what we're going to do is just go over all the metal areas nice and fast. Bum 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 bum. I'm kind of going over these rings very, very fast, and what happens is I'm not letting the paint go into the bottom of the ring, so it's actually almost like dry brushing over the ring, but by using an actual fully loaded brush. As you paint and you progress in your painting, you'll find ways to paint faster. That makes it easier for you, but you can actually get to a speed where you just fly over things and they kind of paint themselves almost. Now there's some little opals here. What we want to do today is I'm going for red crystals for this I'm going to call it a legendary weapon, but he's also got like the little crystals on his belt buckle here and here, so they'll be painted in red as well. And I thought I would add a little bit of red to the end of the legendary weapon as well as. So we just quickly go over these parts here, all the metal areas really. We just quickly fly through them. And his little wrist guards. Like I said before, I always use gunmetal now for all my metal, for all my miniatures, because it's a lovely dark metal. And then once it's dry, I'll go over with a black ink wash, and then I shall use mithril silver or light silver to highlight the dark gunmetal, and it just gives an absolutely awesome effect to all your metal areas of your miniature. Now I do want to actually apologise about my Friday show. I had to cancel my Friday show because, of course, my house is actually it's like a semi-flat. We pay a mortgage. It's our house, but it's like half a house. It's like upstairs is a flat, and then next door is a flat. And the trouble is, we were unlucky enough to actually have a neighbour that they get into a lot of fights. So they were screaming and shouting on Friday, and there's no way I can stream with them effing and blinding through our super thin walls, so I do apologise about that. I might have to have a good think about my Friday show, because I don't want to keep on cancelling it because it's a Friday night and they're all wasted in the house next door. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, so I don't want to keep on cancelling the show because of other people. It's unfair on you guys. Thank you, Michelle. Insulate your workshop. That would be a tricky one. I mean, I love my Lord of the Rings miniatures, so I really do want to carry on doing the Friday show, and hopefully you'll all want to have a little look-see at that. Okie dokie, we're coming on very well with this today. Okay, so that's the metal areas kind of done. There's a little bit there I need to do. 1 second, a little bit more here. Just go around this a little bit here. I think it's time to start working on those crystals now. Oh, I got a chain as well going on that chain going on the legendary item. I'll just quickly go across here. There. I'll just quickly get this chain on. There's a little chain going around here, so we're just going to add this here. There we go. Awesome stuff. Let's do the other side of the chain. Now, crystals, there's lots of ways you can paint crystals. I'm going to show you the most simplest possible way to paint a crystal for your miniatures. And I think it gives an awesome effect. Okay, that's good enough for now. Right, give my brush a wash and we'll move on to the next stage. Let's have a see how the base is getting on first. Right, still a little bit wet. Let me see if we can take that a little bit off there. There we go. Give that a few more minutes and that base will be dry. Right, let's show you how to do the crystals. Okay, as you can see on the legendary weapon there, it's a rock with crystals on. Now, what I've done before the show, I painted the whole area. I painted the whole area with dragon white, and then I've just painted the grey and given it a black ink wash, and that's going to be the rock area. So what we want to do now is we want to repaint all the crystals. So what we're going to do, we're just getting the crystals nice and white, and it's really a very, very simple case of just getting the crystals white with the dragon white, and then we just go over all the little crystal areas with a nice red ink wash, or you can use green ink wash or purple ink wash, and then we just add a little line along the crystal, which I'll show you when we get to that bit, and then we just cover the crystal in a gloss varnish. And you're done. That's how simple it is to paint your crystals and make them glowy and shiny. But the important part is to make sure the crystal first is white. So this is why I'm just adding the dragon white to all the crystals here. Very, very simple. And this is also why I did this part before the show, because it would have taken too long to repaint. So I just wanted to quickly show you how to do the crystals. And of course you can always touch up later on. I mean, when I finish my shows, I always touch up the mini if there's any parts that I've done wrong. And if you are interested, once I've finished all my shows, what I do is I actually add all the shows to YouTube. But what I do on the new YouTube show is I edit the video, and on every show that's been on Twitch, I am on the YouTube video. What I'll do is I'll add an actual 360 of the finished miniatures, so you can actually see what it looks like when it's totally finished. And they go at the beginning of all my shows. Struggling to hold the miniature today. Normally I'd have the miniature on the base, but I wanted to show you the base, how to paint a snowy base fast and quick. And this is why I am actually holding the miniature like this today. Normally I'd be holding the base, so it's a bit more tricky for me today to so there we are. So a little bit more, just making sure I get all the white areas where I need to put the ink wash. The Waffle Witch, you like the Lord of the Rings, do you? Everybody loves Lord of the Rings. Everybody loves Lord of the Rings. I'm actually painting. I've actually got the Witch King on Fellbeast, and I'm painting the ordinary Nazgul Fellbeast. So I've got the 9 to paint, plus I've got 2 Witch Kings to paint, 2 different Witch Kings. Remember to keep washing your brush when you're painting. I know I'm talking and stopping and starting, but you keep on washing your brush, because what happens is if you stop painting for quite a while, the paint will harden inside your brush, and that's why your brush splits. So always keep your brush nice and moist to make sure it doesn't harden, and you'll get much more life out of your brushes. I mean, I still ruin brushes now. I mean, I've been painting years and years and years and years and years and years, and I still ruin brushes. It's a normal thing, so don't worry if you are going through quite a lot of brushes. Even people who have painted for many years quite often will ruin their brushes, not on purpose, but I mean, you might have a phone call, or someone comes to the door, the postman comes to the door, and you put your brush down and you go to answer the door, and then you're talking to the postman for about half an hour, and then you come back and your brush is solid. That's normally my reason why my brushes have been ruined. So I'm just making sure I'm going over all the crystals, making it brighter and brighter. Nice strong undercoat. The brighter you have the undercoat of the dragon white, the more of a glow you're going to get through the ink wash when you actually add the ink wash. A little bit just there. Just there. Awesome. Okay, let's leave that to dry now. Right, we'll go back to the base now and finish off the base. It won't take us 5 seconds. Yes, it's moist. I do need a drink. Bull. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Stunning books and films. Okay, right. We got the nice little blue on there. Very, very simple job to get this done. Again, we go back to our nice big medium dry brush. This is an army painted dry brush. And all we do is we go into our skeleton bone on the tissue, little dab of the dragon white, and then we just initially go over quite hard over the whole of the base. This is our first area for the snow. What we're looking for is a lovely white top with hints of blue coming through the bottom of the snow. Okay, going into the dragon white, just making it a little bit stronger with the white now. Again into the dragon white, making it even stronger. We're getting brighter and brighter as we get into the top of the snow. And then for the last, we're just taking it and we are just using pure dragon white for the final flick over the top. So now we're just using pure dragon white for the final coat, the final pass. There we are. And that's how simple it is to paint snow. It may not look fantastic, and what I mean by that is like, it's just snow. It's just snow, Mike. But what you got there, you got that blue effect coming through the white, so it actually looks more realistic as like ice or snow. So it's very important to have that blue undercoat, because if you look at any Google films or any films that have snow, you'll see there's like a blue effect inside the snow or inside the ice. So having that blue effect really does work wonders, just by adding that first when you initially start your snow effects. You do that for all your bases as well. If you're doing bases, small bases for your miniatures, if you paint the base light blue first and then add your snow, that works well. Hello Tim, how are you doing? Working hard? Okay, let's go back to our Minotaur. Minotaur? Why am I calling him the Minotaur? Mammotaur. Somebody on Twitter earlier said it should be a female because it's called Mammotaur, and I actually agree, because it's kind of sounds like Mammotaur. But I don't know. Okay, let's go and look at these crystals. I think that's all dry now. Now, very simply, all I'm going to use for the crystals is some Game Wash red. Like I say, you can use any colour to make all your crystals all shiny. I'm just going to use red. Okay, so this Vallejo ink wash is one of my favourites. Now, I do like ink washes from Army Painter as well. Army Painter do some very nice ink washes. MSP, they do some ink washes as well, but I don't use the MSP ink washes as much because I use the actual Nun Oil and Aglac Surfshade for those colours. They come in a bigger bottle. That's mainly the only reason why I use those. But Vallejo, very good for your ink washes. Okay, so very simply, we just take our number 2 brush and we just go over all the crystals with our ink wash. We just go simple, as simple as it gets, really. Just go over all those crystals with your ink wash. The ink wash will do all the work for you and go into all the recesses, and what will happen is it should become quite glowy. Now, like I said, I am showing you the most simplest basic way to paint crystals. There are lots of other ways to paint crystals, but this way is just super fast and easy. Because what's happened, because we've painted that dragon white to begin with, the ink wash will start to fade, and the white will push through, and the areas will stay darkened with the red towards the bottom, and it just gives a nice, really nice effect. And of course, once this is dry, I will go over all these crystals, just the crystals, with a gloss ink wash, a gloss varnish, and then they will start really looking shiny as well. So it's just a case of going around each one. It takes a bit of time doing this. What you've got to be careful with ink wash is not applying too much, because the ink wash can run. So this is why I'm just using a number 2 brush and just painting it on very slowly to make sure that ink wash is going into correct areas. I've made the mistake so many times of using a large brush for my ink washes, and you end up with ink wash going everywhere. So when you're doing small little things like this with your ink washes, just use a small brush and you'll get the job done. If you have overloaded the brush, you can just take a tiny bit off your ink off your brush with a tissue. Okay, while Tim is in chat, because he always misses the giveaway. If you want to have a free mini added to your parcel, if you are on a painted tier, just type in "give me a free mini" and Claire will add you to the Wheel of Pain. This is for everybody who is actually on a painted tier on my either on my Ko-fi or on Patreon. All the free minis. Yeah, it's not often Tim's able to join the show, so yeah. I've said this before. It's quite difficult because most of my USA goblins and Canada goblins, this time of day where I stream, even though it's 8 o'clock coming up to 9 o'clock in the UK, where they are, they're still supposed to be in work. Yes, I do. I do sell painted minis. I got a Ko-fi account, and I often sell miniatures on there. On Ko-fi, there's links below. I also do monthly paint for members, and that gets sent to you every month on Ko-fi. What you'll find is most of my support is through Patreon, but you'll be hard pressed to get a tier on Patreon because they kind of sell out really fast for painted miniatures. But I do sell individual miniatures on Ko-fi. I used to do a lot of actual commission work, but what I'm finding is I don't have time to do actual commissions anymore. So what happens is I put up on Ko-fi miniatures that I've painted. Okay, so as you can see, let me see now. Those crystals, I've added the ink wash to these crystals, and it's just they look beautiful because they got that lovely red. They're contrasting well with the actual whole miniature, so they're looking really nice. So we'll let them dry, and that's as simple as it gets. Like I say, the ink wash will dry on them. The white will come through, and you'll have lovely looking crystals. Simple as that. That's the most simplest, basic way to paint crystals for your miniatures. Yes. I'll often put miniatures up that I've painted live on stream. The thing with it is, we've only got a small house, so I can't keep all the miniatures. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I am going to super glue this miniature onto its base, and then we can carry on. Well, actually, we can't carry on much because the hour is nearly over. The hour is nearly over. I'm just going to quickly super glue his little legs on. Now, I always use liquid super glue, by the way. This is Loctite liquid super glue, and it's absolutely fantastic for your miniatures. And I always say it, don't get the gel super glue. The gel super glue is absolutely awful because it can actually go very lumpy, and it goes into like a horrible crystal. Okay, let's get this into there. Okay, what I'll do is I'll quickly paint his eyes. I'll quickly paint his eyes before we finish the show, just so you can see what the eyeballs will look like painted. Again, very, very simple. Got the dragon white here. I'm actually using a very large number 2 brush, and it's like I said to you before. It doesn't matter so much about the size of the brush. It's having the perfect tip on your brush. If you can have a nice tip, you can actually use a very, very large brush for painting your eyes. Now we'll just quickly go on here. Get those little teethies in. Now, all we need is a little bit of dragon black. Just the shank. Okay, dragon black for the eye, for the pupils. Oh yes, talking of dragons. I was just reading Ty was saying he won one of the dragons from the giveaway, and it's guarding his PC tower. Awesome stuff. Glad to hear it. Now I am getting very close to 700 followers. Now if anyone's following, that dragon above me there, that dragon will be given away to anybody that's in stream when we get to 700 followers. So very excited to get to 700 followers. Now what will also happen is once that miniature above me has been won, I shall be adding another one. Because at every 100 followers, every single 100 followers, I will be giving away a very large, beautiful miniature. And there's the eyes done. Very simple. Let's see if I get some focus on there. Let's see if we get some focus so you can see the eyeballs. Hello, Valio. I'm just about to finish, my friend. I'm just about to finish. Nath, that would scare me. That would scare me a lot. I'm actually this is why actually I'm so happy how things are going with the with my stream. It's not going. I'm not getting over flooded with hundreds of people. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't think I'd be ready for that. I mean, when I get raided with some raids, I get all shaky and nervous. So little steps, as they say, little steps. Okay, let me give you a little 360. What we've done today. Let me just get some focus. A little bit of focus. So there we are. This is the Mammotaur by Jason Weeby. I will finish this off and give a full 360. But as you can see, not bad for 40 minutes or 50 minutes work. I think it's looking absolutely fab so far. And I think it's an absolutely beautiful miniature. Now, if you like Harry Potter or anything like that, this miniature is going to really appeal to you. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to put it in my top 20. I'm going to put it in my top 20 Reaper miniatures for their bones versions of miniatures. I think this is an absolutely beautiful miniature. I have a certain mythological fanboy thing going, and this is a very nice miniature. Thank you, the Waffle Witch. I hope you pop in again. Now I'm going to say goodnight to every single one of you. Thank you so much for popping in. I want to give a big huge shout out to Gareth, the Star Wars man. Now Gareth, the Star Wars man, he has he got COVID, and his daughter has got COVID. So everybody say a prayer for Gareth. He is okay. He is okay. Had a long chat with him today. So he is kind of on the mend. So he's kind of got through the worst of it, I think. But again, he's having lots and lots of rest. So I will say goodnight to everyone. Loads of love to everybody, and to Gareth and his daughter. And I shall see you on... What day are we on? Monday? I'll see you on Thursday. I'll see you on Thursday. And we'll still be doing Reaper miniatures because I have a big backlog to get through. So I shall see you then. And I'll see you in Discord, Twitter, and everywhere else. So take care. Good night, everybody.